This is part 2 to my decode to the Free Guy movie and how alchemy works in that movie, showing you your path to ascension. And now we're going to get into all David Bowie's video game Alchemy and also some of his work. And we're going to learn about the 3 stages of alchemy. David Bowie was part of a creation of a video game back in the 1990s that was on the same theme as the Free Guy movie. And that's what brought me to his video game, because it's very similar. It has a awakening, a leveling up aspect, and also like a way to get out of the realm. And I did forget to mention that Free Guy movie came out on August 13th, 2021. Now, this is where the Washington Triangle is aligning to the spring triangle, the rites of spring, Dionysus, in the sky on August 13th. It actually is on top of the Washington triangle that George Washington created. So it is a ritual to the goddess Diana, Hecate, or you could say the Virgin Mary, the Assumption, the Feast of Assumption. So the Hierophant card, which represents Taurus, the labyrinthine, is all about conformity, tradition, the teacher. It's really kind of like keeping you in the labyrinth, right? And so when you reverse the card, it's freedom and personal beliefs, and it's also like rebellion, so rebel, rebel. So because it represents the letter vowel, it has like a nail. It looks like a nail. And this is, a little bit like the nail of God, which would be Polaris. But it's interesting that it looks like just like the number 1, right? The Hebrew letter. So it looks like number 1, but it rules the 5th card, the Hierophant Pope card. Now look at Bowie's logo. Okay, he's got, it looks like the number 15, right? The 1 and the 5. Now I'll go into more about what the lightning bolt on his face means as well, but it's really fascinating. He's coded it. We know Libra is Omega. Now David Bowie's video game is called Omicron. Omicron means Omega. Now Omega is the end, which is the symbol of Libra, like the scales. But what's interesting, it's also the number 15. It's the 15th letter, Hebrew letter. Now the number 15 in the tarot is the devil card, which can be represented for Capricorn as the big O. Also O, like O-H, which is what Santa Claus says is ho, H-O. Ho, ho, ho. Odin, with the wink of his eye, is Santa at the North Pole. So the whole thing through the Free Guy movie, he's saying, don't have a good day, have a great day. And then when Bowie dies, Trump says to him, just says he was a great talent. So he uses the word great. And now you see the lightning bolt on the Aladdin Zane. Now, Aladdin Insane album, right? Aladdin Insane. Or Aladdin, who rides on the magic carpet. There's a bit of a confusion and trick with the Greek letters and the Hebrew letters coding to the Greek letters, okay? So there's a bit of a trick to it, but I'm going to just kind of give you a little bit of a showing here of how he's taken the lightning bolt symbol. It's called this is called the Copa. It's a Z-shaped character. It may appear in several variants as a simple geometrical lightning bolt shape. That's what he used, with the top part curved rightward, evoking to some degree the original uncial form, in characteristic shape with a shorter top arm slightly curved to the left, resembling the Hebrew letter Lamed. Now that would be the Justice card. Okay, so he's taken the lightning bolt and he's turned it into the Justice card. And this is why he has it on his face, because it means justice, and to Omega, freedom. Justice is Libra, where the blood moon is on May 15th at midnight. It's also the symbol of love. Well, of course it is. It's Libra. Its relationship house is ruled by Libra. It's the balance of your relationship with yourself and the relationship with other people, and it's ruled by Venus, love, love and air. So after Bowie died, they created a constellation for him. And I was like, oh my God. So I wanted to really check it out. So I just went and did it on my own. And I figured out where or how they created it. And then what's cool is the centaur is right in the center of it. But they put it there because Mars was like close to Shambhala. Now Mars represents the tarot card with the lightning bolt. So they created Mars. It's like the tower is a lot to do with enlightenment. It's really your journey of awakening. And it feels like you want to jump out the tower and you want to, just like bail out. But it's the lightning bolt, which is really your Kundalini awakening. So Centaurus, which is Chiron, he's killing the wolf. Now the wolf represents Taurus. Okay, I mentioned that in my last video through Norse mythology. Spica is the tree of life. So Mars is kind of by the tower, which is like the tree, which is like the obelisk. Then they have the Libra star. And then also, kind of in the middle of all this, it has to do with the Freemason symbols. You have Norma, which is the level. And then right by Centauri, we have the compass of Freemasonry. And I watched a video of him in an interview, and he's talking about the G, that he lives by the G, which is Gnosis. It's also to do with the word pi, okay? It has to do with the letter G, now, which is the tarot, of the tower card of the tarot. Okay, so this is fascinating. I'm just like, oh my God, it's all coded to the tarot cards, which is really to just teach you the tree of life and how to become free. It's not like evil. It's really dealing with your emotions, thinking that everything's evil is really the evil inside of you, right? You just have to let it go. Now, the tarot card is ruled by Mars. That's why there's all this obsession with Mars. Also obsidian and ruby. So it's like obsidian is the mirror, which is interesting. And then ruby is ascension. Ruby slippers has to do with chromium. And then it means acts of divine love, shocking change. Okay, so it's like a big awakening, liberation, and freedom. So that's why they built that, all for him. All with Chiron in the center of it, which is the wisdom of music, arts, and healing. Throughout the 19th, 20th century, many authors have assumed that Sampi was essentially a historical continuation of the archaic letter San, which is M, the san-shaped alternative of sigma, that formed part of the Greek alphabet when it was originally adopted by the Phoenicians. Archaic San stood in an alphabetical position between pi and Copa, which is Q. So between pi and Q was San. It dropped out of use in favor of sigma in most dialects by the 7th century BC, but was retained in place of the letter in a number of local alphabets until the 5th century BC. It is generally agreed to be derived from the Phoenicians' Tasadi. Now, the Tasadi rules the 17th card, which is the star. So it's the prettiest star. Okay, just got to remember that. That's the prettiest star. It's Venus. Pi is ruled by Mars, which is the Tower card. And then Copa is the Q, which is the 18th card, which is the Moon card. So in between is the star. So Pi, the Tower, has the lightning bolt. And then Copa, which is the Q, which is the Moon card, also can be used as that symbol of the lightning bolt. So we have Mars, the lightning bolt. Then we have the Copa, the lightning bolt. And in between the two, mixing them together, creates the star. And I do believe that's Venus, the prettiest star. Now, Bowie said that he was into Aleister Crowley stuff when he was doing cocaine, so he was studying the Kabbalah, and he said he almost died. Like, it was a really bad period of his life, so, he went into the dark night of the soul, and he said he almost didn't make it out. So, we all know awakening is hard, but doing it on cocaine and being a superstar and getting involved in all the kind of nasty rituals that go along with that world, he had to really pull himself out of there. They also used his song Space Odyssey, Life on Mars, when Elon Musk had his Tesla Roadster mannequin affectionately named Starman into space. Okay, so it's all to do with Mars because Mars is kind of like your awakening process. Mars rules the 8th house and also rules the first house of self, which is I am. Now, the 5 of Pentacles is the dark night of the soul. So 5-5. So May 15th is like 1 doesn't really count. So we got the 5-5, right? So it is going to be the dark night of the soul if this event does happen for many people. The people that watch us go. And of course, this card is ruled by Taurus. Taurus being the 5th card in the tarot, but 5 of Pentacles is ruled by Taurus as well, the labyrinth. Now, he was on an interview with Conan and in 1999, and they mentioned this video game. I had never heard about it, okay? This is really weird because, I really liked Bowie, and it was so weird because my first husband, when I was really, really young, when I met him at a Halloween party, he was dressed up as Aladdin Sane with the symbol across his face. Now, how weird is that? I was dressed up as a rabbit, and he was dressed up as the symbol for ascension. But I end up awakening, and he doesn't. So it's like a mirrored reaction, really weird. Another video he was in, he's talking about, the journalist was saying, you want to be kind of like a leader. You want to be like on a power trip. And he goes, no, I want to give people power to look in the mirror and that be their leader. Okay, so he mentions this. And then he also says in one of his, I think, Ziggy Stardust songs about this poet, Kali Gibran. Beauty is eternity, gazing at itself in a mirror. But you are eternity, and you are the mirror. So it's really Venus, this whole, mirroring of Venus. And the fact that the sky is aligning at midnight with the blood moon is beyond, amazing. That this is all tying into his work. And check out this video game. It's insane. It's called Nomad Soul. And then he's got a barcode in the eye. So if you don't make it, you're going to become a barcode. Or, it's the all-seeing eye. They have different pictures of it. Here's the premise. The city of Omicron, so it's like Omega, right? On the planet Pathaton, is under attack by an unspecified enemy force. A police officer by the name of K. Lee, which is the same as the poet, reaches out through your monitor to call for help. Okay, so then you end up going into this game, and what else they say here? That, to be honest, the same idea can be found in a mediocre 1997 sci-fi Italian movie called Nirvana. And Nirvana did one of David Bowie's songs. Okay, so we have to check out that movie. And then, frustrated with his existence, reaches to the creator for help. But since this is a game, the brilliant idea could and should have been used to create a greater effect. Instead, it's just there to set the premise for the whole shifting bodies mechanics. Okay, so it's like, it has to do with the creator. Now, Bowie ended up, being a Buddhist and going into really heavy religion at one point. So he is actually inside the video game as kind of like a spiritual guide. But when I typed in the word Omicron, this city came up, the coldest city in the world, 96. He was 69 when he died. They have a bull at the center of the city, which is Taurus, they have Santa Claus basically. They're saying here there's spring water that doesn't freeze. This is like, he looks like Santa Claus, man. And it's all to feed the reindeer. This whole town is built around the reindeer. The coldest town in the world. I guess that's Santa's North Pole. So it's really the same as Free Guy. They're trying to get rid of this, bad controller. His name is Astaroth. And they're trying to, the name of the players that are doing this are called the Awakened. So it's all really to do with what's happening in our reality right now. The whole thing. You can read it all, but it's just fascinating. Now, Omicron, I said, is Omega. It's the number 15. It's the devil card. And the album that he created to go with this video game is called Hours. And he took the big O, and he has the mirror image of himself being alive and dead inside the big O. So this is kind of like, your mirrored soul. It's the two souls of your feet in Pisces, or you have to, be in, it's like you're able to see that you can be in two realms. You can be here but not be here, or you can die here but still be alive, right? It's kind of, he's showing us this, and it's called Hours, which has to do with time. It has to do with jumping timelines. So in the barcode stamp up in the top right-hand corner, it says David Bowie. Then it says 4 hour 5. Now 4 is D, and 5, D5. And now I know that was in the 17th letter movement. There was a D5. There was also a 5-5, 5 like colon 5, and there was also mirror, mirror, mirror. So these are all things that are starting to come forth. Like, whoa! And then the barcode in the eye, that's in the I Pet Goat movie. Yeah, it's kind of cool. They're making the 4 look like the H, and then the 5 is an S. So he's got the word hours, but it's 4 hour 5. So it's really the number 9, 4 and 5, which is Ascension, number 9, the Hermit card. So the actual video game even says this. It says they return to their own dimension and prevent the soul from being captured by demons. Oh my God, that's what what we've been saying, right? It's like, oh, you're gonna get stuck here. You're gonna get re-looped back, just like the Free Guy, the blue shirt guy. The only way you can escape is to see that this realm is an illusion and become awakened. Here are the songs on the album. He's got. He also performed it on Saturday Night Live, which is really important. Thursday Child and Rebel Rebel. Well, Rebel Rebel is basically the Justice card. Thursday Child, I'll get into that, what that actually means. Trump led me to all that. And then there's a song called The Pretty Things Are Going to Hell. Now, that would be us, the pretty things that know about Venus, because she's the pretty one. Okay, that's really who she is Venus. She's all to do with love and beauty. And Hell is the underground. He's done a song about that. You have to go watch that. That's great lyrics in that song. Dreamers, The Brilliant Adventure. Yep, we're going, and we're all going through. So, see, and then all the songs relate to this process. Now, his last album was called Black Star. And here he's wearing a black star in a circle, Venus, right? Rock Against Racism. This is an old clip of him in an interview. So his last album being Black Star, which is really Venus, which is the obsidian mirror, that's why it's black, okay, is really to do with ascension. Obsidian actually keeps demons away from you, bad energy. I have an obsidian necklace that I wear, a black horse, and it's John Dee was using obsidian, just to talk through the veil, okay? And everybody's like, oh, it's evil because, it ended up being bad because he was listening to somebody that told his wife or told his best friend that he should have an affair with his wife, and then that eventually made him go insane. But yes, obviously there's bad demons that you don't want to talk to, but the point is, I think in this aspect, in what we're living, this veil is going to be thinned and we're going to be able to get through. I wanted to see if there was a red star because red is the finish of the alchemic process, not black. Okay, and of course, that same thing, they had this red star with the fist in it called No Paz Aran. And I was like, what's that? I've never heard of that. And so it's the fist, right? But then I was like, oh, what's Trump do all the time? He's always got his fist up in the air. They all do, right? And it's on his logo, the fist. So I was like, what does this mean? And it means the enemy shall not get past. Now, we know Taurus is the labyrinth, and Ariadne's there at midnight on May 15th next year, and he was in this labyrinth movie. So I was like, oh, there must be tons of esoteric stuff in this movie. So I was just flipping through just on YouTube, just looking at stuff. He's got the snake, right, and he's presenting her with the snake. And then there's got the midnight. They have the midnight clock. Then it ends up, she realizes, she says, you have no control over me. You're just all about fear. And as soon as she says that, the clock turns to 13. Well, 13 is the 13th zodiac that Chiron rules, which is Ophiuchus, that holds the snake. Again, it's the 8th house, ruled by Mars, Chiron, and Pluto. Pluto makes you face your fears. Pluto is your soul. He rules the underworld. And look at the symbol, the Venus pentagram in a circle. This is Egyptian hieroglyphs, so that's what it means, the duat. And the whole reason she wanted to go into the labyrinth is because she asked him to take her brother away. Of course, he's dressed in red and white. That's alchemy, as same as gold is. Santa Claus, that's why Santa Claus wears red and white. And, he's got this baby, which is the newborn us. That's the new birth of you. Okay, now, this album, he has the red king of diamonds. The diamond body, which is the golden body, it's red and white, is the marriage of the white and the red. It's the sacred marriage. Now, he's got this on his album called The Width of a Circle, which is the diameter. The diameter is Demeter, which is the goddess that is all to do with the harvest. And she is really like Ceres. She's Persephone's mother, Demeter. So it's all, the language is all the same, right? It's to do with math and science. They put the words in. But this, I was really fascinated when I listened to this song called The Prettiest Star, because I'd been looking at the lyrics of The Prettiest Star, which are amazing. So the interpretation of this song has to do with the narrator enjoys a sexual encounter with God, that the devil or some other supernatural being, according to different interpretations, in the depths of hell. So the hell is, the inner earth, it's Tirnanog, but, they're kind of making it so it's like, okay, this is good or evil or whatever, but it has to do with this spirituality. And that's why on the front of his cover, he's got the alchemic marriage in the King of Diamonds. So the prettiest star, which would be Venus, here are some of the lyrics. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the ones that really stood out to me are, so tired, it's the sky that makes you feel tried. It's a trick to make you see wide. It can all but break your heart, not heat, it's supposed to be heart. You and I will rise up all the way, all because of what you are. The prettiest star. You're Venus, you're full of love. So when you listen to this album with the lyrics in this album, it's not the same. He's talking about Venus, right? The prettiest star. Rise up high and take us all away. That's the lyrics in that song. So I was blown away when I heard that, because I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get taken away. We're going to the other realm, right? Like Free Guy. So it was just fun to find that. I love finding stuff like that. It's hidden. So, but it's not, when you go ask for the lyrics for that song, it's never there. But this song, The Prettiest Star, I've always loved this song since I was like really, really young. And now I understand what it means. I never knew before. This lyric that he has on his Hours album for the game, The Prettiest Things All Go to Hell, I am a drug, I am a dragon, I am the best jazz you have ever seen. I am the dragon, I am the sky. It's like the Ouroboros, right? I am the blood in the corner of your eye. It's like the blood moon. like a moon eye, has to do with the Mobius eye. I found the secrets. I found gold. I find you out before you grow old. I find you out before you grow old. So you don't age in that realm. You're always healthy. So he had an album called Heathen, and heathen means pagan. And this just absolutely made me fall off my chair. They actually wrote a song. He actually wrote a song called 5:15, which is May 15th of next year when this is happening at midnight, May 15th, May 16th. May 15th, the angels have gone. We're the angels, okay? And we're going to end up leaving. The Who did a song called 5:15. The lyrics are not so intense on their song, but they did a video showing the whole, an artist painting a picture, and he ends up creating a skull, which is ascension. And then, you know, it's like the transformation, then he breaks the picture at the end. But when the Who was doing this video, I couldn't believe it, because I'm like, oh, is it tied to time? Like, is 5:15 really tied to time? And right at the beginning, it's 5:15 on the clock. But when he's brushing his teeth, look who's there, Elvis Presley. Oh, Elvis Presley, the Tree of Life. Oh, Elvis Presley, the 50th anniversary, 5, with the blood moon behind. Oh, look at Lucifer's show coming out, 5:16. The end is almost here, they're saying, at 5:16, May 16th at midnight. Oh, and of course for the younger generation, Bridget Medler is doing a song, 5:15. Now, here's David Bowie's lyrics. I'm changing trains, this little town, let me down. The foreign rain brings me down. 5:15, train overdue, angels have gone, no ticket. I'm jumping tracks, I'm changing towns. We never talk anymore, forever I will adore you. 5:15, all of my life, angels have gone. I'm changing trains, angels like them. Thin on the ground, all of my life, all legs and wings, strange sandy eyes. 5:15, train overdue. Angels have gone, we never talk anymore. Forever I will adore you. Cold station, all of my life, forever. I'm out of here forever. Omega blood moon, 5:15 at midnight. It's everywhere. Blood moon, Omega, blood moon, Seco. So an Etruscan vase can happen with the sun as it's going down on the horizon. That Jules Verne's had mentioned that the sun can look like this vase, but it can also be from the moon looking like this. So the vase is, you know, it's the kumbha pot. It's where the nectar of gods are in. So it's really fascinating that the moon can be this symbol that looks like Omega, and so can the sun, right? So the mirror is really what's happening next year on May 15th, because we have the sun in Taurus, which is Venus, and she's always mirror, but the sun can be the Omega, and the moon can be the Omega, which is in Libra, which is the balance and Venus. So it's really fascinating, you know, the sun and the moon. So I really do, I'm zoning in on this blood moon now, because Trump has also coded to this date. And I have to do a whole video on that, and it all ties into Peter Pan and Neverland, and it's a mind blow. And I have to, you know, I'll do that. It's going to be a little bit to put that one together, but I wanted to do this first because of this Free Guy movie I found really fascinating, because it's got the alchemy all the way through it. The other thing I wanted to mention was Adele, with her performance, was all to do with alchemy as well. She did this big concert in Hollywood at the observatory. I think it's the Griffin Observatory. And, you know, it was all black and white, which are the first two stages of alchemy. Now, she's dressed in black. She has Saturn earrings on, and she has this Saturn tattoo on her forearm. You know, now everybody's going, she's, you know, turned evil, Saturn. No, it's the first stage of alchemy. It's the earth. It's the Mother Earth. It's the blackness of the soil. It's the the Khemri. It's like the past. It's like the memory of the past. Okay, this is the first stage of alchemy. And then when she did the interview with Oprah, they were both dressed in white. Now I listened to this video of them talking, and Oprah goes on about, oh, I wasn't going to wear white, but what the dress that I had on made me look like a peacock. Well, the peacock is the second stage of alchemy symbolism. It has to do with the 100 eyes of, of the peacock feathers of the God's eye, and it's really your spirit awakening. Okay, so it's fascinating how they code it all in there for, if you can see it, you see it. But, if you're not awakened to this knowledge, you'd never even notice that it's there. But Oprah was like, yeah, I look like a peacock, so I had to put white on. And that's why they're dressed in white. She was black in the concert and then white. And they're just telling you, you have to transmute your shadow. You have to, you're half light and you're half dark, and you have to go through this. And when you do this, you become into the sacred marriage, and you become the red and white. It's the sacred marriage of the king and the queen. Okay, and then you become gold. Okay, like the goldfish in the Free Guy movies. So really just kind of walk this middle path, and try not to get caught up with people that are in a frequency of fear or judgment. It's just really not healthy to get caught up in that, because it's like a rabbit hole and you'll get sucked into it. As the world is collapsing, going into more chaos, you just have to be like like the blue shirt guy. What a lovely day. And just keep carrying on, because it's all about you now. You have to be in this perfect frequency to get into Neverland. If you can't be like him, you won't make it. You got to just be in this bliss, love of Venus state. I know in a way that sounds a little bit selfish, but it's like you can't help thinking about me. You have to put yourself first, because you can't go down with the ship, right? It's like you got to save yourself, and then you can help other people. He does mention it here. Now I leave them all in Neverland. The station seems so cold, the ticket in my hand. My girl calls my name. Hi, Dave. Drop in, see you around, come back. If you're this way again. Oh, I'm on my own. I've got a long way to go. I hope I make it on my own. So, I don't know. Like maybe he doesn't go to Neverland, maybe because of his role in this game. I'm not sure. All I know is that their symbolism is that there is a Neverland out there. That's what they're showing us. There is a Neverland. And I don't think it's all this symbolism is because it's not there. I really do believe it is there. And I really do think it's tied to alchemy in the sky. And with this Venus, symbolism mirroring the sun and the moon, which are the two pillars, which is like the black sun is Saturn, the white, it's like the two pillars, black and white, they have to merge. And that's what's happening. We got the sun and Taurus, which is Venus, which is where the Ein Sof is, which is the God's eye, the Ein Sof star. And then you have the moon, which would be represent white actually, because it's usually full moon, but it's turning to blood, which is going into the sacred marriage, right? So we have the black and white pillars, and they're both Venus. So this is pretty amazing what's happening on May 15th. And of course, this is all ties into the rites of spring. This is all to do with Victoria Day, and the whole thing about the May Queen. The Maypole is all to do with in May, which is the Beltane, which is when your body, goes to fire. And I'll go more into all that in my next video, that how Trump coded it all to this date as well. I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe, help my channel grow, and give me a shout if you'd like to know your Saturn lessons and to see how you have, accomplished your life mission that Saturn gave you when you were born, or what you chose for yourself. And let me know if you'd like me to do a reading. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll just keep working towards getting my online school going. We're getting there. And so I'm going to work on that this week for sure, and hopefully get it up online soon. Take care, guys.